Hello, my wonderful, lovely Pisces. It's raining out here. Otherwise, I would use this area. It got a little wet. But Pisces, here's what's going on with you. You're in a place of transition. It's wet, but you're in a place of transition. You guys are going from some murky waters to some cleaner, clearer waters. You learned a lot where you were before. Okay, but you're taking with you everything you learned in that particular experience with you. Okay, Pisces, so this is where you are. So if you're in a situation, Pisces, where you feel like things were garbage, right? I want you to look at it like this. Like, yeah, it was garbage in terms of like what was comfortable, like, but it was a lesson learned. You're coming out of a lesson learned type situation. And trust me, things are going to get better and better and better as you continue to stroll down the stream into some clearer waters. And it also looks like you have some assistance, okay? Like you're getting, somebody is helping you along this journey, whether it be in the form of advice or your spirit guides and angels, depending on how you meditate, depending on what you put your energy into in terms of, you know, where your source of power comes from. Whatever religion you are, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever your source of power is, some people, you know, call it God. Some people call it the inner force. Whatever you pray to, okay, has come and helped you get out of a bad situation into a better one. And you learned a lot, okay? Some of you, it may feel like you didn't learn, it just sucked. But trust me, you learned a lot, okay? And you're taking with you everything that you learned, regardless if you can appreciate what you learned or not. You took it with you and you're going to a different place. Now, the energy that comes next speaks of choosing love, okay? So I get the sense that some of you have experienced something and maybe it made you feel like love was not, love may not be like the top priority right now because maybe love was not so kind to you, right? So you may not be looking at love in a very positive light, given what you've been through and where you came from. But you're being urged to choose love in this new place that you're going to, okay? So you're going somewhere different, in a different state of mind, really, and choose love is what you're being told. Now, with the Eight of Cups, sorry if you get little splatters of rain. I don't mind the elements on my cards. I really don't. But, now we're talking about, okay, you poured all of your loving energy into something or someone. And it's not that love is there or not there anymore. That's not the point. The point with this card is that it's time for you to go find some other cups and fill them up with something different. So like this also speaks of that transition. Like these two cards together scream transition. They scream change, and they scream the fact that you're walking away from something. But you're being urged not to turn your back on love. Because here's the thing. Some of you, it's wet, hold on. Some of you, okay, going into this transitional place, Pisces, some of you will either be the giver or the receiver of this love that you're being urged to engage in, okay? So some of you have some love to give somebody else, and you need to do that without judgment, okay? And some of you are going to be the receivers of love, and you need to receive it without feeling shame. Like So for example, you're coming out of a place, you're going into a new one. This is love related, okay? I'm feeling like it's like relationship related. It could be anything though, but you're going from one place to another. And the bottom line is that when giving and receiving love, and look, and this card is so appropriate. We're going to go back to that. This is your ascended master that's working with you closely, Jesus. And open your heart to love. The ascended master, Jesus, just teaches you to give and receive love. So I thought this was really appropriate when I shuffled and pulled this up. You know, open your heart to love, because it is all about love. Because I feel like whatever you went through recently, it made you feel some type of way about love. Like some of you are feeling right now like love doesn't exist. Love ain't pure. Love just ain't right. Like there's no such thing. Some of you are thinking about giving up on love, but I recommend that you don't, because this card tells me that you have a lot of love to give and you have a lot of love to receive going into the future. But if you're closed off to that mentality, you just might lose a good opportunity to learn, to love, and to enjoy what's coming for you, like, and what you can walk into. So I just get the don't harden your heart type thing, right? So then you got the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is like, in terms of spirit, right? It's like a young spirit. The page is a messenger, okay? You have the page, you have the knight, you have the queen, and then you have the king. So given that the Page of Pentacles popped up, that tells me in terms of understanding your value and what you're worth. We talked about this before in some of your readings. Some of you subscribers, some of my beautiful subscribers, of whom I love, by the way. Love you guys. You guys are in a still very new place in terms of understanding your value. And I think that's part of the transition that you're in. In this transition, based on what I'm feeling, you know, in this pentacle that he's holding, he's a child with something of value in his hand. Okay, so this is you. You are that person of value. But how much of that do you understand about yourself, Pisces? Right? Because like early in the reading, you're being told, don't turn away from love. Because some of you guys are like, I don't want to do love anymore. I'm just always, I'm going to be a player, or I'm not going to do this anymore, or I ain't feeling it. But I'm telling you, like the universe is telling you, yes, honey, don't give up on love, because something beautiful is coming. But you're going to have to learn through what you just went through, right? And what you went through made you question your value, I feel. So that's why, like, I feel like the energy from the past couple readings are still here, because it's like a lot of you have a lot to give and have a lot to receive. But you guys are still like newbies, you know, when it comes to love. And that's okay. Okay. And if you don't understand that, what will happen is you might jump into a situation that you probably shouldn't be in too quick. And if you do that, you'll just kind of like repeat this cycle. Then you'll have to leave and go somewhere different. And then you'll have to be like, okay, my cups were filled. Now they're not. And I have to walk away and start over. But see, this is like that transitional energy right here. This tells me you guys have so much to give and so much to receive, Pisces. Okay? You have so much to give, so much to receive. And this is with regards to love. But I feel like maybe you're feeling like, I feel like some of you are feeling like love is a burden. You know, this card is the burden card. So this is the burden card, right? Like, wands represent action, and it represents enthusiasm, and it represents accomplishments. However, if you have too many accomplishments and too much stuff going on, it feels like a burden real quick. So I really recommend, based on what I see, you know, I feel like you guys need to just slow down a little bit, right? Focus on the happy. Boom. The Nine of Cups represents happiness. Focus on the happy. For those of you who have ended a relationship recently, I don't care who it's with or how it went down, be happy. Even if it sucked, like seriously. Because I'm going to tell you right now, like I see a beautiful lesson in the making. I see a beautiful lesson in the making. Okay, but you have to look at it as a lesson, because you did learn a lot. You learned a lot. But let the process like kind of take its course so that you can say, you know, this is the part of the relationship that didn't work out. This is what I did that wasn't cool. This is what the other person did that wasn't cool. Right? And like going into the future, this is what I'll do different. This is what I won't repeat, because that's what this energy says. You're taking with you everything you learned. So don't forget what you learned in this last situation that you were in, this last relationship that ended, because I see a relationship that ended. I don't really feel like the relationship ended in a real shitty way. I just feel like it ended. And I feel like maybe some of you have gone through this repeatedly. I feel like there's repetition here with some of you, because we've got some big numbers here, you know, and that, you know, the 6 and the 9, you know, and then the 6 again, and then the 7, like so, and 10, like so. You got some big numbers. So this tells me that you've repeated this cycle quite a bit, which is making you feel like, you know, love now is just like garbage. It's not garbage. It's, you have to learn what you needed to learn in all these situations. Don't go into love stubbornly. Don't be stubborn and feel like, oh, everything's going to be like it was before, because it's not. You have to open your heart to love. Love in different shapes, you know, facets, sizes, context. Change your perspective on love, because there are so many different ways to see it. Okay, this comes from the deck of The Universe Has Your Back. Okay, so I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. And in your situation, Pisces, I feel like what it's going to take in this particular situation is for you to allow yourself to see things from a different perspective. Everything doesn't suck. Everything is not shitty. Trust me. Everything is a lesson. And everything happens in the way that it's supposed to happen, Pisces. Everything happens and everything plays out the way it's supposed to. Now, if you have to learn the same lesson 5 times, that's the way it was supposed to happen, for you to get to a place that the universe wants you to get to. So I just have this sense of like, sit back, relax, and do not turn your face against love. I feel like some of you are like giving up on love because, you know, you had to walk away. Well, sometimes we do have to walk away from love. Every loving relationship, you know, when we first enter it, is not like a plus, right? We have to learn. That's what life is about. And so I just get the sense that you guys are in a place of learning right now. And you're definitely moving on to something amazing. Okay, but this card right here tells me that if you don't see it from that perspective, it will be a burden. If you don't see things from a learning perspective, you will feel like this situation was a burden. And we don't want that. We want you to look at it from a learning perspective, because life is all about experiencing things, and life is all about experiencing the good and the bad. Everything can't always be good. Right? We would like for it to be that way, but it's not. It's the not so cool situations that sometimes really teach us the most. And I think that that's the angle that you need to look at this last breakup from. That's the perspective you need to look at it from a learning perspective. Okay, Pisces? So open your heart to love, honeys. And do what it takes to get closer to consciousness. And that will allow you to enter into different dimensions and different journeys in life. And you won't keep repeating the same cycles. Okay? Right now, I feel that a lot of you are happy. I do. I feel like a lot of you are happy. And if you're not happy, you have the potential for happiness if you see this from the right perspective. If you just broke up with somebody, or if you just ended a relationship, I can tell you this with 100% certainty. It was meant to be like that. The situation was meant to be kaput. Okay? But there was something that you were meant to learn in the process. So I recommend that some of you think about what those lessons are, because they're going to be very useful in the future. And going into the future, I'm telling you, you guys are moving on. Mentally, you're moving on, and that's great. But if you don't look at it from that perspective, things can easily be seen as a burden. So Pisces, until next time, lovies, it's Tarot from Beyond. And let me know if you'd like a personal reading. My prices fluctuate based on the demand. Right now, I am charging $50 for 45 minutes. Okay? I will leave my information in the information link, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember what I said, Pisces. This is a learning experience. It's not the end-all be-all. It was a learning experience, and it's that simple. Enjoy what you enjoyed about it and learn from what you didn't like about it. And trust me, something is brewing, honey, because you're going somewhere else now. And, you know, I want you to think about where that's going to be. Is it going to be here, burden, or is it going to be here, happy? Now, I think the key would be here. Open your heart. Do not be closed off, and don't be negative because of what you experienced recently that might not have been so positive. Okay, Pisces? Talk to you soon.